What's the Church of Scientology so afraid of?
This is SPTV.
Oops, little glitch there. Hi, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
We're very happy to be here with you this evening on this anniversary of the publication of my book, A Billion Years, My Escape from Life in the at the highest levels of ranks or something of Scientology. Can't even remember the name of it. It seemed like a good opportunity to fill in a bit of the story of the creation of the book. And I thought it would be great if Christie was here because she was such an integral part of creating the book. In fact, probably had she not been nagging me and pestering me and insisting that I sit down and write, it never would have happened.
I like insisting out of all those three words you chose there best. I think that's the right one.
Okay, well, fair enough. Not really nagging, but you know, I had a lot of people who had told me, you know, you need to write a book, and I put together like an outline, and I tried to recall as much as I could, and I had all these notes, and I put together sort of an original draft of it that was kind of like a legal brief. It was time, place, form, and event. I went here, I did this, I did that. Christie read it and said, I don't think that there is enough emotion in this. Maybe you can describe what your view of it was, honey.
Yeah, I mean, it was like you said, it was a very good time, place, form, and event. It was very factual, and it was still the basis of your story that you have in there now. And there was some emotional aspects, but it was kind of lacking what you eventually got to, which is like the really sort of deep feelings that you had as you were going through these different experiences. And it took, you know, some more deep diving to really get to all of that stuff. And I think it just made it so much better.
Yeah, well, I do too in the end. I mean, that's not sort of my thing, being incredibly introspective and trying to figure out what I was thinking. I was sort of more the facts of the matter. But really what happened is COVID. I ended up being stuck at home with literally nothing to do. And Christie is like, well, you better write. You better write. You better write. You better write. And so I did. I wrote. I worked very hard at writing. But then I didn't have any way of getting the book published. I had an agent actually who had represented me during the time of doing the Aftermath, and he had a partner who was supposedly this big book dude who had connections to everybody in the publishing industry. And I went and I did a presentation to them, and I gave them sort of a copy of the draft manuscript and a little outline and a kind of a pitch for the book. And they were like, yeah, okay, well, we'll get back to you. They never did. Nothing, absolutely nothing came of this. And one day I was talking to Leah's business manager, and she said, you know, I think that you should try someone else. This is just not working. And I'm going to put you in touch with someone that I think is really the best in the business. So I got a hold of him through her introduction. He took it and said, okay, here's what you need to do. You need to write there's an exact format for presenting a book to a publisher. And so I did that, and he got it and he said, I think this is terrific. I'm sending it out. And like within 2 weeks, he had 3 major publishing houses that wanted the book. And he recommended one, which is where I ended up going, which was Simon and Schuster, because their nonfiction book imprint gallery, he was very close to and had a huge regard for the boss of that particular organization. Me Too. She is an amazing woman. And the editor that they originally put me in touch with is someone who I came to have an enormous amount of affection for. We hit it off like right from the get-go. Her name is Amy, and she was formerly an editor at Vanity Fair for many years, and had knew a lot of the people that I knew, and was interested in the story. And so this all worked out perfectly. They were like the perfect fit for me. Both Amy and her boss and everybody else at Gallery Books was just amazing. And then it turned out that the head of the legal department of Simon Schuster at the time, she has since retired, was very familiar with Scientology. And in fact had worked as an intern when she was going to Harvard Law School in the office of a lawyer who was suing Scientology. So she was absolutely fearless. And they also hired an outside counsel to review the book, because of course there's a lot of concern about whether Scientology is going to sue or not. And that outside counsel was also someone who had great familiarity with Scientology, and they were just terrific on clearing the book through legal. In fact, some of the things that they wanted to fix, which weren't that many, I felt improved the book. They didn't take anything out, or I wasn't allowed to, they didn't prevent me from covering anything. They simply wanted things changed in some fashion. And like a lot of their changes were actually improvements.
And you said to me you were nervous because, typically legal cross checks are very, they do want to take things out, and they're scared to say certain things, and they don't want to cause any big ruffles. So you were really nervous. I remember you being like, oh, great, here we go. Now it's the lawyers are going to look at it, and it's all going to, it's going to be terrible. And it wasn't. And that was like another sign that, like, okay, we're in the right place.
The stars were aligned. Exactly. Plus, I was told by Amy originally, she said, here's what you need. You need to find what we call in the business a book doctor. You don't need a ghostwriter. You just need someone that helps you, who understands what a publisher, like a big publisher, is looking for in a book. And so I interviewed like maybe 6 people.
Yeah, 5 or 6.
And the one that I hit it off with turned out to become like my therapist / editor, because what she did was we talked endlessly, and she asked all the questions, and she had been an editor at big publishers. I can't even remember which ones, but a number of them. And she was very, very smart about what should or shouldn't be included, what should or shouldn't be priority, what should be played up, what should be played down, what should I take out, because I had to leave a lot of sort of detailed things out of the book. I mean, details that were not forwarding the story, like little anecdotes about stuff and things that had happened, and it was just too long. So a bunch of those got taken out, and she helped figure out which ones would be the best to get rid of. And
she would also ask you, like, she would also say to you, like, tell me more about this. Like, this, And I remember you being like, oh, she asked you the right questions. Like, tell me more about this moment when this happened. How did that make you feel? What was it? What was going through your head? And she kind of like pulled the string with you on different things. So you could like, oh, okay, let me answer that question. And she just knew which questions to ask you.
Yes. And so she just was amazing too. The whole team was amazing.
Yeah.
Everybody that was involved in putting together this book, including the Amy and her partner in crime, Max, who both were ultimately the editors of the book. They go through and, well, is this, do you really want to say it like this? And this probably, you've got the wrong tense in the sentence. And this needs to be a semicolon, not a colon. And also things like, we don't understand this, or can you explain this better? Or, this is difficult for anybody that hasn't been in Scientology to get a grasp on. So that
you're already a really good writer though, Mike. Like I asked Mike to always edit my writing. So you're my editor and you had these editors and you're already so good at that. So like some of that stuff was, like they were like, they said it was all there. And those were just little things that, a superior editor would.
Yeah, nobody wrote anything in my book other than me.
Yep.
They edited or changed or had me write additional stuff, but that book is me writing my recollections of what happened and my life. And so it reflects my understanding or my feelings or my beliefs or my thoughts about really what happened to me, what happened with the, how that might impact other people. And the reason that the book is addressed to my children is because of Lawrence Wright. When Christie started really giving me a lot of pressure to write the book, I reached out to Larry, who I became pretty good friends with during the time of Going Clear, and said, what advice do you have for me? Like, tell me your best advice. You're the best writer, the most successful person I know in the nonfiction field. And I'm interested in whatever wisdom you can impart to me, because I'm going to now embark on this and do it for real. And he said, write what is important to you. Write about what's important to you. Write a book that you feel is important. And he said something like, do you know what book I'm most proud of? I said, I don't know, Looming Tower, Going Clear. Like I rattled off a bunch of his, New York Times #1 selling books that have all been turned into movies or series or whatever. He said, no, it's a book I published of letters to my parents, because that was what meant the most to me. And he said, knowing you like I know you, I think that you should write this book for your children. And I went, okay, I get it. You're right. And that's sort of the genesis of how the book ended up being addressed to my children at the beginning, or my elder children. But I also wrote it so that Jack and Shane would be able to sort of have an understanding of where I came from and what had been my life before they came into my world. So that's the kind of backstory. I just realized I promised in the pre-announcements for this that we were going to give away signed books. And if we don't start right now, we won't get them all in, because they plan to do 5 signed books. We're going to do it the way that we usually do on the other live feeds, which is you got to put a comment in the comment section, say, I want a book, and Christie is going to randomly click on one and pick it, and then you can send an email to me on my blog with your name and what you would like written in the book, and also your address, because one of the people that paid for a signed book on the Aftermath fundraiser still hasn't sent me his address. His name is Fabio Robbiani. So if he is watching, I've sent him 3 emails asking him for his address, and he has not responded. So I can't send him his book. Anyway, get your little fingers typing. I see a bunch of people saying, I want a book, please. Honey,
Okay.
you just do a countdown and then.
Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lauren Ann, you get a book. Congratulations.
So Lauren, Lauren Ann, if you will email me at my blog, I will get the book out to you, and we will do another one in I don't know. How about we do it at 7:30?
Perfect.
Okay. Where was I? I got completely distracted.
You told us how you decided to make it for your kids, and that it's your legacy.
Right.
I think that's kind of where we were. How do I take her comment off? Is it in the starred section? I'll let you figure that out, babe.
Just replace it with another one.
Okay, we'll just leave it up there until the next time.
Wait, let me see. We gotta find this somewhere.
There's so many comments. I'll look. You keep talking. I'll look for it.
Okay.
I found it.
Okay, good.
There we go.
Good work. Good job. I was also going to say, I have now written afterword for the trade paperback edition, which you can pre-order already on Amazon. It's not coming out until next February, but they've already got it up there to pre-order, and I just went through the legal check on the afterword today, and so that really sort of it tells the story of what's happened in the last year and the things that have occurred, including my cancer diagnosis and treatment. And obviously when the book comes out in February, there's going to be a lot of time from the time when I had to finish writing it, which was now. So things may change, and there may be other stuff that goes on during that time, but it at least gives some of the anecdotes about what happened and what Scientology tried to do to prevent the book, and perhaps the best legal letter of all time that was sent by the publisher of the book in the UK to David Miscavige and his lawyers, putting him on notice of the things that are in the book. It is probably the best letter I've ever read, and I put that in the afterword because it's so fun, and there's a bunch of other stuff there.
They need to get the paperback. Don't read it. They need to get the paperback so they can.
I'm not going to read it. What
Asked,
sort of marketing guy do you think I am?
I'm just making sure. So someone asked, what is a trade paperback?
Okay, that's a big format paperback. Like this.
The book you printed is a hardback, and
okay, the British edition of the book in England is a trade paperback. It's basically the same format as the hardback, same size, same type style, but it's
paperback.
Got a paper cover. And this and the new edition has a new cover, an entirely different cover. And then there is what's called a pocket book, which is one of those paperbacks that's like that big. That
Smaller.
it's not, or maybe they just call it a paperback. I know Jeff Hawkins is lurking in the comments. He actually made a comment, and he knows all of this because he's a genius about this stuff. He might be able to straighten me out what they call a non-trade paperback. But someone just asked, is this going to be on Audible as well? No. The book is already on Audible, but it's not going to be, I'm not going to go. In fact, I don't think I'm going to go and record an Audible of the afterword to add. Maybe they will have me do that. I don't know.
They should.
The Audible book has actually sold more copies than the hardback.
Yeah, we should get that afterword into the Audible. I mean, all you'd have to do is just record that afterward. The rest is all the same.
I know. I will ask Amy.
Yeah.
And we'll see. Maybe that's a good idea. Thanks for that.
That's a good idea.
Thanks for that.
Because then you'll sell more Audibles. It'll, you know, people will be like, okay, I got to get this. I need afterward.
Okay, so where was that one? Wow.
I'll look for it. I got it.
Oh, you got it?
Yep.
Oh, you're a genius. Look at you. You got this all down. I still fumble around on this stuff like crazy.
Well, it wasn't too far up, so it was easy to find.
Right. By the way, the recording of the audiobook was also quite an experience. I mean,
oh yeah.
I went, they rented a studio in Tampa, and I went there Monday through Friday of 1 week and arrived at 10 in the morning and left at 4 in the afternoon, about 6 hours a day. And by, the end of the day, your voice gets worn and you're like lagging and not really got the energy and enthusiasm that you start out with in the beginning of the day. So that's why they limit how long it is. But they had actually booked the studio for, I think, 10 or 11 days, as that's what it typically takes. I had a producer who was in New York who was really, really good. She was right on the ball, and 2 guys in Tampa also who were listening as I was recording. And if I stumbled, would stop and go back and start again. And, it was pretty grueling. But on the other hand, because I'd done so many events reading from teleprompters, I was pretty good at reading, and particularly when it's stuff that you've written, it's, there's no surprises coming on what is the end of this sentence. Is it going to be a big bombshell, or is it going to be an upward inflection or a downward inflection, et cetera, et cetera? So I did it very fast compared to what they said was normal author. Like many authors have professionals read their books for them.
Yeah, they said that you were one of the fastest and one of the easiest to work with that they'd ever worked with. I'll say this so that you don't have to say it, because that's what they said. They said you were the fastest, you were the easiest, you made the least mistakes of any person that they'd ever had it done an audiobook with. And you said that you felt like that was because you'd done so many live events and read from teleprompters at every single year, 3 international Scientology events a year, and you just got really good at doing that.
Right. Anyway, that's a bit of the story of the Audible book. What else? Oh, okay. So let me just update you a bit on my cancer situation. Or actually, Christy, you can do that. You're good at this. You're the queen.
Sure. Okay. So by update, should I just kind of give a summary of recent? I mean, I think we did an update not that long ago. So, but I'll kind of backtrack a little.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. So beginning of June, Mike started on one particular treatment, which was a pill that he was taking. And that lasted for about a month before it started causing side effects that were not tolerable for him. So it was causing liver toxicity, and he could not stay on that medication anymore. And around the same time, he got a fever and an infection, and he had to stay in the hospital for 11 days. And that was a big, stressful period of time. But that hospital visit actually turned out to be kind of a saving grace, because the infection and everything that got resolved and fixed at that time really is when things started to turn around. And his cough that he had, as we all know, from the beginning of, springtime until then, basically was cured after that hospital visit. And I don't know. I think that's enough details about that, right, Mike? Unless you want me to go into more details.
No, it's gory.
Yeah.
No more gory details.
You don't want to hear the gory details. But so we got through the hospital visit, we got home, and the very long hospital visit. And then we had to start looking for a different medication, since that medication had caused such bad reactions. And we managed, his oncologist found a second generation of the same type of drug, which addresses a blood mutation that Mike has, which is very rare, which is the driver of the cancer. And so we found a second generation of the drug, got through all of the red tape to get that, because again, it was denied by insurance. So we had to do another jump through hoops and get financial approvals through the drug company, which I managed to accomplish, which was not easy, but we did it. So got that again for the second time. And he is now on that new medication, and has been on that medication for almost a month, 3.5 weeks or so, Mike, maybe 4 weeks.
Yeah, nearly. Yeah, it'll be a month on Monday or something.
Yeah. And he's just doing so much better, obviously, because here we are on the YouTubes talking to all of you wonderful people, instead of being couch potatoes or sleeping in bed all day long, which is also needed sometimes. But we're just so happy that Mike is feeling better and he's able to be here and he's feeling well. He's got more energy. He's gained weight. What else? He's eating now. His appetite, we talked about that in the last video. Appetite is back. Which is wonderful, and just doing so much better. So we continue.
Not coughing. Yeah,
no cough. The cough is gone. The shortness of breath is gone. The fluid buildup in his lungs is pretty much, it's not 100% gone, but it's not what it was. It's not a problem. And in about 3 weeks' time, he will get his next PET scan, which is the scan they do to actually see what is happening with the cancer. So that's scheduled for 3 weeks from now. And we are pretty sure that's going to be a fantastic result, because he's doing so well. Everybody's happy. We even so we have an oncologist who we see, who's a Baycare oncologist, who we absolutely love, who everyone we've talked to has highly recommended. Mike gets on with her like a house on fire. She read his book. So she's just fantastic. But in addition to that, we did go to Moffitt. She recommended we go to Moffitt, which is nearby, so we could get a second opinion. And the very highly trained, experienced, top of the line Moffitt doctor, GI cancer oncologist doctor there, said everything that we're doing is right. We're on the right plan. He wouldn't change anything about our treatment, Mike's treatment plan. So we got, the seal of approval from a second doctor that we're in the right, we're doing everything right, which we knew, because Mike is better, or he's, so much better than he was, but it was good to do that anyway. So that's kind of where things stand, I think, right, honey?
Yes, that's a good summary. Good job. I should hire you.
Oh, already here. You don't need to hire me.
Yeah. By the way, Jeff chimed in. Let me just find his comment here about the trade paperback.
The paperbacks. You're going to be able to find that comment now?
Yeah, I'm going to be able. Okay. I started.
Oh, good job.
So I'll be able to find it. Here we go. My old buddy Jefferson. Mike, the small paperbacks are called mass market paperbacks. Glad you reminded. That's exactly right. They're designed to fit in spinner racks in drugstores, etc. Larger paperbacks are called trade paperbacks, sold through bookstores.
There you go.
There you go. Like I said, we have an expert in the house. Always.
Okay, it's 7:30. We have to give away our next book.
Oh, wait. How did I do that? I just unstarred him without taking his thing off. Oh, my God.
Well,
I'm such a dingbat.
Search through for his comment.
Okay. I'm just going to do one other little one here, honey. Paul. Uncle Paul.
Paul's in the house.
That picture of him, I think you took it.
I took that picture, yeah.
Exactly. I just wanted to say hi to Paul. He's one of our dearest friends. Jack considers him his Uncle Paul.
Yes.
That's how he's known. Uncle
Paul. We love you.
He adores him. We all love Paul and Jackie, his wife. And I just noticed that little star. So I'm going to hide this one now. And there you go.
Okay. Book time.
Book time, honey.
Get your comments in. You want me to do it or you want to do it this time?
No, go ahead. You did good.
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where is it? It didn't show. There we go. Megan Mejia.
I'm writing the names down so I...
Oh, I got to keep this comment nearby so I can undo it. Awesome. Yay, Megan, you get a book.
There you go. So like I said before, email me on my blog, click the contact me, tell me your address and what you would like me to write in the book. And it will be off to you. It'll be off like a bride's nightie, as they say.
As you say. That's an Australianism. So many fun Australianisms. Off like a bride's nightie. Heard that one like in the first week of knowing you. I was like, oh my goodness, what else is coming next? We need some of your Australian friends to come in and give us some more of those fabulous Australianisms in the comments.
There's a few Australian friends that were in here. Like someone wrote, or a few people have written, "Hey, Collingwood made it into the grand final." So here we go. Look. Spoiler alert, Mike, your Magpies made it to next week's AFL Grand Final by 1 point. Congratulations. I watched the game today. It was a nail biter. It was a great game. That's Australian rules at its finest in front of 97,000 people. It was pretty cool. And they won, so that made it extra pretty cool.
So when are we doing the next book?
Oh, I don't know.
We got to stay on track here. 7:45, or is that too soon? 7:50.
Let's make it 7:50.
Okay.
You keep track of that.
Okay. I'll do my best.
Keep track of that, honey.
So, are we ready to do some comments?
Comments and questions? Sure.
Comments and questions?
Sure.
That's what I meant to say. Questions. Okay.
Oh my God, there's so many of these. I'm like.
Well, we'll do some super chats from Jack. I purchased the audiobook and enjoyed it tremendously. Thank you, Jack.
So do you want me to get... Oh, good job.
I'm doing my best here. Bet Sizu. I got my book today. Thanks to you both for signing it. Blah, blah, blah. Betsy. Oh, wow.
Oh, great. Glad you got it, Betsy.
Fundraiser or something, right?
Yes, it was. She was one of the people that did send me her address.
Good job, Betsy. You followed instructions. 86 DNC. I really enjoyed reading this book because it goes through so much history, not commenting on your age, LOL. I appreciate what you wrote and the courage. Very nice. Thank you. Okay. Lithanda Graklinga. Now that we know how much Christie was involved, hey.
Oh,
hi.
Sorry.
What are you doing?
I was trying to star something and I messed it up.
Sorry, Lithanda. Here we go. Now that we know how much Christie was involved in the development of the book, Will we be able to buy copies signed by both of you? Lots of love. Sure thing. I'll sign them if you want me to.
Well, someone asked, one of the people that got a copy from the fundraiser asked if you would sign it, and
Yeah,
I brought
I
it to
did.
you and
I
you
signed
signed it.
it. No
Yep.
problem. The Mr. Denlife. Good evening from Germany. I just bought your audiobook. You are a huge inspiration to many, many people. Thank you for doing the great work. Lots of prayers towards your health. So nice.
Thank you so much. Yeah, the good wishes and support and prayers of people from all over the world have been a source of enormous strength and comfort to me. I try and read everything, comments and stuff. I don't always respond. I certainly can't like everything. I can't answer everything, but whoops, I did it again. Sorry. I see them, and they're very meaningful.
Yeah.
I'm sorry this is such a mess. We're not really so pro at doing this yet.
Well, I'm doing pretty good, actually. I just wanted to say.
I agree with you, honey. I should have said I'm not very good at this.
I'm getting better. I'm getting better at this. I so far haven't blown my microphone out or anything. Like it's a miracle.
Right.
Okay, Apostate Alex. Mike, your strength and determinism has been the guiding light for me and many others in speaking out. Thank you for everything. Much love. MAA AO SPTV UK.
Thanks, Alex.
Okay, let's see. This is a question. Mike, don't you believe that this storm of information flooding to the public is indeed moving the needle forward in deconstructing Scientology? I do, from Irene Huffman.
Hi, Irene, who lives just in the next town up. I absolutely believe that this is the case. I absolutely believe that this sort of wave of now, which has become a flood of information about the true nature of Scientology, has been growing and growing and growing. And I think that probably the start of it was the Truth Rundown series in the St. Petersburg Times by Tom Tobin and Joe Childs. And then, of course, Going Clear, both the book and then the movie, and then the aftermath and the podcast, and now SPTV, and all of the people who have spoken out. And there were obviously people before the St. Pete Times, but the St. Pete Times were, apart from Time Magazine way back in the early 90s, the St. Pete Times was a watershed moment where the abuses of Scientology internally within the Sea Org, carried out by David Miscavige, were sort of exposed for the first time. And the abortions and that sort of stuff. And now I think that it is impossible for Scientology to combat how much information is out there. And with the growth of the internet and the ability of people to click a button and find out all sorts of information that used to be very, very difficult to uncover, it's, many people have said, and it is very true, that, shining the light on evil is the way that you get rid of it. And that, the thing that cults can't deal with is information. And I think that that's absolutely correct. And I think that the amount of information that is now out in the public, and there's more of it every day, is having a very large impact on Scientology and its ability to get more people into abuse.
Well said.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. I think I didn't mean to put this one up, but let's read it. Amy Barry Nair. Love your book, Mike. The work you, Leah, Mark, and Claire and Aaron and your families do to bring the truth out about the cult of Scientology is helping the world. I wish you all peace, good health, safety, and happiness. You all deserve it. Thank you,
Thank
Amy.
you so much. That's a very nice comment.
Yes, it is. Okay, and here's Jeff Hawkins again. Hey, Mike and Christy, love you guys. We love you too, Jeff. My book was criticized as being somewhat unemotional. I didn't have a Christy. I ended up self-publishing.
Jeff, I love your book. I really do. And I think that you should take that criticism and put it in the circular file.
Yeah, agreed. Okay. Why is that one? Oh, I lost it. Okay, I'll just put up another one. Here we go. Maria de Jesus Gutierrez.
The
Hello.
light lady. You know
The
who
light
she
lady.
is.
Yes, I know who
the
she
blue
is.
lights behind me.
She sent you the blue lights.
Maria. Yes.
Hello, you guys look great. You and Mark both need a part 2. So number 1, you and Mark both need a part 2. 2, platinum meritorious. What was Mark going on about with Mitch today?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Missed that one. Okay. Free Z new project. Mike, maybe they didn't give you the address because they are OSA.
Well, they paid $250. So if they are, thank you, OSA.
Thanks, OSA.
Mark Headley's in the house.
Oh, yay. John Sustowski. Mike is the cat's pajamas.
Did you start that, honey?
This is a super chat. I didn't start it.
I understand. It's okay. I was just being funny. It's trying to be funny, at least.
Pat Shore. Christy, has he gotten you a mic yet? Mike, get her a mic. Love you too. Keep up the good work.
Well, show them the mic you've got.
Oh, well, he spelled mic weird. So I did. I showed the mic last time. Here's my special.
Look at that fancy
mic. I do have a
mic.
And I'm just learning how to use it. Okay. I'm just going down through the super chats. Did you want to say something to Mark or find Mark's comment? If you do, go ahead. Interrupt me.
No.
Okay. Jen Nelson, is this going to be on Audible as well? We answered that already, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna check, Jen. I'm gonna actually ask the publisher if they want to do an edition.
Yes. Laura Estrada, Mike, I'm so distraught learning that special needs are considered broken in the cult. I am ready to advocate for those I teach and love. How can I help?
Well, you can help by going to the Aftermath Foundation website and clicking on volunteer. That's one way that you can help. I don't know what you can do with respect to special needs in Scientology. Disband the thing. It's like it's inherent within the culture of Scientology and the writings of Hubbard. So I don't know that there is much that can be done about that, but that's what you can do.
Okay.
I'm sorry I'm not looking at the camera. I'm trying to keep track of all these comments and star some questions. And
well, here's an interesting one. Job. Shanna Ellison, I would like the book. I can't find it in the stores.
Okay. Go to Amazon.
Go to Amazon. You can find it there. And if you can't do that, maybe a different store. I've seen it at Barnes and Noble.
Right. Well, who knows? It's been out for a year now. So
yeah,
if they ran out, they probably didn't reorder it. And, anyway, you can get it on Amazon. And if you can't get it on Amazon, which you can go to the Simon & Schuster website. You can order it from there. You can order it from Books A Million. You can order it from all over the place.
There you go. It has to be asked. Lisa Marchbanks, Dragonfish Handmade Goods. It has to be asked. When will book 2 come out?
Well, I don't really know that there is a book 2. I don't know what I would write about. Maybe I could write about a different subject altogether,
Yeah.
but I don't, I've told the story of my, how I got into Scientology, what happened when I was there, and how I got out and what's happened since. So there's not really any, but that was an autobiography, really, and there's not really much more biography to write. So I don't know. I don't think that there is likely going to be another book, but
Well, I have an idea for book number 2, so we'll see if I can get Mike to write that book, but that's my little secret. So you'll have to wait and see. Sandra, this is for you because you're a fighter, and I really want to see you guys take the cult down. Keep fighting the good fight. I know it's not much, but I hope it helps. Thank you, Sandra. Free Xenu Project. Mike, we knew you would get better. You have been fighting Scientology for so long. Cancer didn't stand a chance. Correct.
thank you so much.
My 16-year-old likes to say, what does he say? Cancer's got nothing on you, Mike. Love it when he says things like that. Apples. Mike, I've been following your story since 2010 and I'm amazed at your tenacity in rebuilding lives. That'll rip a fork in their 90s. Yes. Christie, you're an absolute star. All the best from the Northern Rivers and NSW.
New South Wales.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, let's see.
Wait, who was that? Was that Nicole?
It's gone now.
Okay.
No,
sorry.
I had to unstar it. Otherwise, I would get too many left in here.
Right.
Okay, here we go. Eat more pizza now. Great, Mike Rinder. I will be on a long road trip next week and will be listening to your audiobook during my travels.
Oh, that's great. It's really good to hear from people who have not yet read the book or listened to the audiobook. There's a bunch of people when I put up the stuff about, oh, this is the 1-year anniversary, saying, oh, I just finished it yesterday, or I just got it, or I just ordered it. It's nice to know that there are still there's still interest and people are still, getting the information or are going to get the information that's in the book, because I really think that that's kind of important.
Yes, absolutely. Question from Kathleen Welsh. What year did Mike meet Leah?
I think it was in 2004 or somewhere 5, maybe. I actually met her, and I talk about this in my book, at the opening of the CCHR Industry of Death exhibition building thingy, and was introduced to her by Lisa Marie Presley, who I knew Lisa Marie pretty well, but I had never met Leah, and I ended up being introduced to Leah by Lisa Marie. But I never really had a whole lot of interaction with Leah in my Scientology days. That really started after I left.
Okay. Question from Gaspasser 007. When was Niacin introduced into COS? Did LRH added after heart attack? Old use for elevated cholesterol. I mean, so I don't know the answer to this, but just for people that don't know what this question is about, the purification rundown is a step you do on the bridge where you go into the sauna and you sweat and you take all these supplements, including tons of niacin, and you get all red and flushed, and it's kind of wacky. I have no idea what the answer is, though. Do you, Mike?
I think that Hubbard was fiddling around with niacin back in the 50s, but I don't really know for sure. He had this thing called Dianazine or something that he was feeding people, Scientologists or Dianeticists or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't really know, but it certainly is now like a part of the, religious sacraments of Scientology.
It's so crazy because it's the first step that you have to take when you start the bridge to total freedom. So me, having grown up in Scientology, was 10 when I was made to do the purification rundown. I was 10 years old. This is a program that you're supposed to do to sweat out all the drugs and toxins and bad things in your body. I only had 10 years. Like, I didn't take drugs. I didn't have, so the idea being like, if you took, LSD and whatever, like heavy drugs that might be affecting your ability to respond to auditing and Scientology processing, that you need to get those out in the purification rundown. And as a 10-year-old, I was made to do that.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Quentin Hubbard, I love airplanes. Thank you, Quentin.
That's a joke.
Christopher Salkeld, you should be the COB because you are the chairman of the SP board.
Oh, thank you. I'm not sure that that's a title I want. Just so you know. It's sort of been messed up.
Sarah Bauman, happy book anniversary, Mike. I currently have a copy of your book and can't wait to read it. Thank you for all you do. Okay.
Thank you. I love that. I started that comment because I like that word, book anniversary. I wish I'd
Which
thought of
reminds me that it's time to give away another book.
Oh, yes. Yes, honey.
Okay. Let me get back to the regular comments. Okay, let us know if you want a signed copy of Mike's book in the comments. I will be choosing someone in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Julie W., you win a book. Congratulations, Julie. A signed book. Oh, these comments move so fast. Let me go back to Julie. It's now so far away already.
I see it.
You got it? I got it too. Okay.
Julie, write to me at my blog. Click on the contact me. Tell me your address and what you would like written in the book, and it will be forthcoming.
Very nice. Okay. Next, Cody Mack. We made a donation to ACS in your honor and bought the Audible. Your story inspired me to help expose this cult. We love you, Mike and Christy.
Thank you so much.
Blown for Good. Scientology Exposed. You guys are slaying it.
Headley.
Or Claire, or both of you.
Well, yeah, there's another one. No, there's another one from Claire too.
It's probably Mark. Okay.
Yeah. That's probably Mark. I don't know.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, guys.
Joanne, thank you for your super chat. David Brown, other than the sex, is there much difference between prison and Scientology?
Not a whole lot. Although I think in prison you don't have to well, I guess you do.
Something dramatically different, and some people in prison just sit around and read books all day and just whatever. Like in Scientology, you're treated like a slave who has to work all day and you don't get any breaks. And anyway, they're probably both very bad, but I've never been in prison, so. Okay, here we go. Monkey Shark. Yeah, Christy should sign books too. We love you both and you look great. I say, let's have an SP convention with all channels when you are totally well.
Okie dokie.
Very nice. Oh, also, when are we doing our next giveaway? Got to say, how many have we done? 3 or 4?
3. We've done 3, so we got 2 to go. So let's do it at 8:15 and then the last one at 8:30 and then we'll end off.
Okay. Sounds good. Linda Utecht. So happy you are doing better. Do you believe DM really believes in Scientology? And is there a chance he will disappear with most of the money when the heat coming down on the church more and more? With the heat coming down on the church.
Do you believe DM really believes in Scientology? I've answered this question a few times. I think that there is not much distinction between whether he believes in it or pretends to believe in it, because it's like, do you believe in Santa Claus, or if you believe in Santa Claus, do you really believe it, or are you just believing in the concept of Santa Claus because that's something that you are supposed to do?
Mm.
Miscavige believes that Scientology, that he has to be a dedicated, committed Scientologist, otherwise he will lose his power.
Yeah.
So does he believe it, or does he just pretend to believe it? I don't know, but I don't know that there is any difference, really. Honestly, I think that is basically the same thing. Pretending to believe it or actually believing it, when it's something that is a sham in and of itself, there's not really much distinction between the two. Is he going to run off with all the money? No. He is going to stick it out to the bitter end, and he will either be put in prison or die as the end of his tenure as the, you know, whatever he calls himself, the ecclesiastical leader of the Scientology religion.
Yeah. Okay. This is a nice comment. Bright green. I'm actually very impressed by Mike's abilities with technology. I'm not trying to point out age, but fact is, some generations grew up far more immersed in it, and even they don't pick it up as fast.
Okay, that is the comment of the day. Good job.
I'm impressed too. Mike and I each have our strengths and weaknesses when it comes to technology, and he's doing really well. Good job,
Well,
Mike.
I got to tell you one thing that I have had a big advantage with is working with Mark Headley, because
Yes.
Mark Headley is a genius on technology and particularly audio visual stuff, because that's what he does. He is the leading expert and artist of creating interactive and audio visual displays for very high-end museums all over the United States. And some time ago, he asked me to come and help him do the grunt work of installing some of this stuff. He does all the brain work. He programs the computers and the screens and all of that sort of stuff. But then it all has to be installed. So I started helping just because it was enjoyable, fun hanging around with Mark. We get along very well, and so we would go and do these projects. And then Amy and Matt Pesh started. Aaron did a couple. It was like the XSO installation team, and from that I learned a lot of things, like not how to program anything, but how to install things and how to debug them and find out, okay, so this isn't working. So what do we try? How do we go about finding out what the cause of it not working is, and the processes of elimination and all that sort of stuff. So Mark Headley has been a great influence on me and my technological incapacities.
Having Mark and
Curing
Claire,
some of those.
yeah, having them as your friends is just a wonderful thing. So like,
It
hey,
is.
Mark and Claire are coming to town, and we're like, hey, what do you want to do when you come to town? Well, let's make some plans. And Mark's like, oh, go to the store, fix a couple of your printers in the house that aren't working. Like, you need some help with your printer? Because he helps me every time. There's always going to be a printer problem, and Mark's like, okay, what do you need? I'm here. So it's an inside joke that when he comes to visit, he's coming to fix my printer. Anyway, yes, good to have. Nancy01. Hi guys, so happy you're feeling better. All of SPTV is becoming so big it's turning into a full-time job. Yes.
Yes, it is.
It's awesome. Lathanda is back. Book 2 could be your journey to and through the Aftermath show and tell the stories that didn't make it to the screen and about the foundation. That's
okay.
A good idea.
I'm keeping all these comments.
You keeping them?
No, I'm noting them.
Okay. Just
the ones about
sure
the book.
I was making sure that wasn't for me. I'm unstarring them once we're done. Eat
No,
more
no.
pizza now. When the cult goes down, what do you think will happen to the hardcore members? Will they start another one asking for a friend? Oh man. Some people do, but
I look, when the organization is finally dismantled by whatever means that happens, that isn't going to get rid of the ideas. Those ideas will be around till the end of time. I mean, there are people who still outside of the organization and without engaging in the abusive practices of breaking up families and hard selling and putting people into bankruptcy and that sort of stuff, who practice Scientology today, and they know all the bad, and they continue to try and operate with what they consider as the good parts of Scientology. And so I don't think that every person will abandon what they believe is their route to freedom and happiness. So I think that, and they will probably start up their own little thingies like some of these people have. And as long as they're not abusing people, they can believe whatever they want.
Yep. Tiff 45, I'm sure everyone is as thrilled as I am to see you both and hear your positive update. So thankful to be a part of your journey. Your legacy will carry on for generations, Mike. Stay strong.
Oh, that's very nice.
So nice. Here we go. Claire Headley. Hi, Claire.
Back at you.
So now-
XOXOXO.
I know this is Claire because it says Claire, and Blown for Good is Mark.
Right.
So
Going Claire.
Oh, that's right. Going Claire. Okay, let's see what's next. Here's a question. Hi, as a Dane in Denmark, does Scientology still play a somewhat big role in the EU? Is there anything specific we need to know or do to minimize their operations in Copenhagen? Loved your book.
Annie, no. Scientology doesn't play any significant role in Europe. Like probably Denmark is the country where Scientology has the greatest presence. But France and Germany, Scientology is, a bad word. Austria, Switzerland, it's not much better. There's very, very little influence that Scientology has managed to accomplish in any of the European countries. Like I said, Denmark certainly has the biggest presence of Scientology, but still it doesn't really influence anything. There is only one organization in the entire country dedicated to trying to get new people into Scientology, and that place is empty. So no is the answer.
Okay. Quick one. And then we'll go back to the super chats. Mike, this is from Glenda Stevenson. Was LRH less mean and toxic than DM?
Yes. In person. Yes, definitely. He had more of a sense of humor and more apparently empathetic to people around him. But then you got to balance that with, he also wrote all the stuff that and directed all of the things that make Scientology so toxic. That is not the work of David Miscavige. David Miscavige is a product of Scientology and L. Ron Hubbard's writings. So, as one of my other favorite expressions coming up, Christie's already laughing. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Hubbard was worse because he invented all that shit. Miscavige is worse because he's just a nastier person.
Yes, perfectly stated. Maria de Jesus Gutierrez. Mark says you were the one who wound up with that infamous eBay $2.5 million trophy. Yeah, it's up there on the shelf behind
Yeah,
Mike.
in fact, that
But yeah,
that is it. Just you can just see the bottom. It's really heavy, so I'm not bringing it down.
Christie, make him write that next book. I have hardback and audiobook. Did DM ever try to get you back in, Mike?
No, he didn't. I was a lost cause.
Thank God. Corey Jameson, my first super chat. Yay, good job, Corey. Love listening to you both. My late husband used to say, off like a prom dress. Oh, was your late husband Australian, perchance?
No, because prom is not a thing in Australia.
Oh, so it must be the Americanized version of off like a bride.
Yep.
Gary Mackey, write the history of Scientology from LRH in the beginning and all his crazy to TC and Leah and the SA trial to the upcoming trials. That was you. You
Sorry.
just,
yeah, sorry.
I mean, you kind of did that from your perspective in your book, but thank you for the suggestion.
Yes.
We'll take all the suggestions. Let's see. Someone said this, this was what I was trying to say. You probably have more rights in prison.
Exactly.
I truly think you do. I mean,
you do.
You can go play basketball on the field, and I don't know. You do. There's nice, you can take courses and become and learn how to be a new thing when you leave.
A mosquito landed in my tea.
Oh dear. Sorry, babe.
My PG tips is ruined.
Bota29 had told Amy and Claire, I just found your book at my local library. Oh yeah, we should have suggested go to the library. You'll be there. It was the first time I checked out a book in 15 years, but so excited and will buy a copy in the future to support and share with friends. Stay blessed. That's awesome.
That is awesome. You know, peoples out there, if you can't find a copy or if you go to your library and can't find a copy, ask them to get one.
Yes.
It's a great place for a book like that to be. The more of the, that book and Jeff Hawkins' book and Leah's book and Jenna Miscavige's book and Ron Miscavige's book and Going Clear there are in libraries, the better.
Did you say Amy's book too?
Amy's book, Mark Headley's book.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get in trouble because I left people out.
Elizabeth Jimenez, thank you for speaking out.
You're very welcome.
Jerry Thompson, thank you for the super chat. Just trying to get all of them this time because I know we didn't do that when you did your last one with Leah. Aaron McAllister, thank you for the super chat. Here we go. Colonel Brock, question. Who did you send to the RPF?
Ooh.
It wasn't me.
No, I know.
I'm just joking. I didn't send anyone.
I'm not sure that I ever actually sent anyone to the RPF. I'm not sure that I ever sent anyone to the RPF.
Really?
Maybe when I was in, when I was the head of CMO Clearwater, people in the CMO there, I'm sure sent people to the RPF after they'd done investigations and that sort of stuff. And so they were sort of under me, but I don't think that I've ever sent anybody to the RPF. Maybe I have. I don't know. Don't know.
Well, I just want to say that you apologize for anyone that you sent to the RPF.
Okay.
If you did, right?
Yes.
Do you do that?
Yes.
Say, hereby solemnly swear that I apologize for sending.
I hereby solemnly swear that I apologize
for sending you to the RPF if he happened.
Sending you to the RPF if I happen to do so.
Yes, because that was not nice.
Although honestly, when I went to the RPF, it was a big relief for me.
Yeah, that's okay.
It was like
kind of like going to prison, like from our earlier conversation where you didn't have to be the stress of your job.
Right.
I get what you mean. Lori plays. I'm over in Tampa and would love to meet up and buy you both lunch one day. Just say where and when. So nice.
Okay, so Laurie, send an email to my blog. Maybe we'll do that.
Christopher Salkeld. Sorry, Mike. COB. You're right. You are just perfect as Mike Rinder. Agreed.
Yeah, I don't want to be the COB.
No. Scientology clips. I listened to the audio version of Mike's book. Lots of new info. So good. It was strange to hear Mike's voice refer to Scientology as we in the first part. Love that he read it himself, though.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Let's see. Oh, here's another one about prison. Food is better in prison.
That's
Thank you,
probably
Hattie.
true.
I mean, there were times where it was just rice and beans like every day in the Sea
Yep.
Org. That's just gross. Not good rice and beans either. Danielle Chamberlain. Mike, my husband Neville remembers you as a child. Do you remember him
Yes.
at all?
Yes. In fact, I commented on this when we were doing the Aftermath fundraiser because I saw Danielle made a comment and said, me and Nev or Nev and I or something are watching. I said, is that that Neville Chamberlain? She said, yes, it is.
Wow.
Neville Chamberlain was a famous person at St. Hill back in the 60s and 70s, and I was there with my parents at some point, and he was like an opinion leader and very highly regarded and respected until he wasn't. That happened to most of the people who were originally, like the Hubbard inner circle at St. Hill. They all ended up becoming the Hubbard outer circle at St. Hill at some point.
Okay, it's time to give away our next book.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. It's 11 after now.
All right.
Okay, so post your comments. Book. I don't see them yet. Oh, there we go. I see them now. All right, comments in. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Purple Groovy. You are the winner. Super groovy. Oh gosh, I gotta remember these comments get away from me so quick.
I know.
I gotta not just put it up. I gotta star it so I don't lose it. Okay, I'm gonna hide it. There we go. Or I lose it. Okay.
Oh my God, we've got 41 starred things. Whew.
Okay.
Okay, we've only got 20 minutes, honey, so we have to go fast.
Okay. Do as many as we can. Pamela B. Pam. Okay, I messed that up. Pam Lamb. Got your book on Audible. However, would love to buy a signed copy if possible. Been following you for years. My son's dad went to Narconon and did sauna, niacin detox, and really messed him up. He still has the books. Wild.
Okay. Well, I used to have a thing on my blog where you could order a signed copy of the book, and Christy asked me the other day, you want to put that back up? And I was like,
we took it down because we just didn't have the bandwidth during the summer of cancer and poor health to do a lot of extra shipping and things like that. But it's up to you, babe. You don't have to put it back up, but you can consider it.
Okay, I'll consider it.
Think about it if you want to now that you're feeling better.
Yep.
Okay. Well, maybe let you know if we decide to do that. Greg Watkins. Why doesn't COS encourage lots of babies since it is the only way their membership might grow at all?
You want to answer that, honey?
Yeah, I mean, they do actually. There's different levels of being in Scientology. So you can join the Sea Org, and that's the only place where you can't have a baby. And the Sea Org is just the top of the highest echelon of the staff membership of Scientology. But outside of the Sea Org, you're welcome to have babies and have as many as you want. If you're just at your local Scientology org in Denver or LA or Clearwater or wherever, you can have as many children as you want. If you're a public Scientologist, again, you can have as many children as you want. And those are the children who are now in the Sea Org. Like me, as a 16-year-old, I got recruited. I was a second-generation Scientologist. And there's a lot of second-generation Scientologists, and they do wind up on staff. So it's only the Sea Org members that can't have babies. Did I answer that good, honey?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. Turid Tronstad. Love from Norway. Thank you, Turid. Gary Mackey. I'll have to go at 8:30 p.m. CST. Your lawyer friend, Zach, is on at that time. And by the way, a copy of your book is sitting in front of me. Thank you,
Excellent.
Gary. What is the SP group text like? Aaron, Mark, Leah, Claire. Does your phone blow up all day with breaking news?
No, it doesn't.
Do you, if you want to take over on showing which comments you prefer, go ahead. Or do you want me to keep? Oh, look,
no,
here we
it's
go.
fine, honey. You're doing good.
Gary Jackson Moorhead. Jackson. Hey, you two cool cats. Just as simple. Love you both. Love you, Jackson.
We love you, Jackson.
Miss you. Need to get you to come visit us. Grounded in Grace. Book 2, Aftermath, The Fall of Scientology. Continuing to pray for you and believing for complete healing. So glad to see you're feeling better.
Great.
We got
name.
a lot of ideas. Got a lot of ideas tonight for book number 2.
Yep.
Mary Smith, I'm sure you've seen the COS building in San Diego. Do church members not see the irony in their bright, shiny building and the homeless outside that they don't help?
No, they do
See
not.
it.
Those people are considered to be degraded beings and not the able who they are trying to make more able. You've probably seen the video on YouTube of the people squirting down the homeless people on the sidewalk in front of the Citizens Commission on Human Rights. That is sort of the Scientology attitude. They don't see any irony in that, not at all.
Nope. Necessary Trouble. I really like that name. We should all be so lucky to have friends like Mark and Claire, and I'm sure they feel the same about you.
We should all.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Grounded in Grace. Book 2. Oh, did we do this one already?
Yep.
Got still stayed here.
Okay.
Get up hard. Okay, here's a interesting question. Patty B. Mike, did anyone ever make fun of DM behind his back, or was it too risky?
No, that was too risky. There's, in Scientology and particularly in the Sea Org, there is knowledge reports, and you never know who's going to turn you in and rat on you, even your spouse. So, no, it's a snitch world, and you had to be very, very careful about what you did or said, particularly with respect to Miscavige.
Daniel Jose Umanya Calderon. Christie, what was your first impression of Mike? My first impression of Mike. Well, it took a while to get to know Mike, but once I got to know him, first impression was, I don't know, how do I answer this question? This is a hard one.
I don't know. It's for you, not me.
I think probably it was just, he was nice. He was easy to talk to. We got along. We had things, but there wasn't, much else. And then soon thereafter, he was much more like he has this very strong desire to help you and give you good advice. And he was very sort of like how he is with all his friends. Like he's there as their person who you can lean on and ask for help. And people go to Mike for that kind of stuff. And he was like that for me. Before anything else, he was a really good friend. So hopefully I answered that good.
That's a good answer.
Yeah. Well, that's what I remember. Okay. Freezy New Project. By the way, I did listen to your audio of your book. I loved it. Also, I have a question. Do you think it would ever be possible for there to be a coup to take over DM, much like he did to gain power?
No, I don't. I think that the only person that could possibly have accomplished that was Shelley. And I have commented a few times that that's one of the reasons why I think that she was disappeared, is because Dave realized that if there was one person who could possibly rally together enough other people of influence, it was Shelley. So yeah. She was effectively taken out of that equation. So I don't think there's anybody left that could do it.
Jesse Schaefer, got your audiobook while you were on YouTube hiatus just to listen to you tell stories.
Thank you.
Oh, nice. Kelly at Large. Mike, I listened to your audiobook just recently. Thank you for the courage and strength of conviction you've demonstrated. I was never in COS, but I admire the work all of you are doing. Much love and support from Kansas City.
Thank you so much.
Let's see. Okay. Are we getting to the end of the comment of the? Oh, okay. Lady Veritas, did all those rice and beans create a lot of wind? For sure. Oh my goodness. Bet's Zoo, do they think the homeless are like engrams they need to get rid of?
Yeah, kind of like that. Exactly. They're a nuisance.
Yeah, they're a nuisance. They're a pariah. Even I think LRH says in Science of Survival that you can gather up all the like degraded beings. He uses some different word. I don't remember the exact word, and put them on an island where they can all just kind of die off, and we can have a better society if you do that. Doesn't he say something?
Yep. Similar
something
to
really
that.
kind and compassionate. Joking.
Yes, very empathetic.
Okay. Well, I don't see any more super chats in here. So now we got the
you
rest
don't have
of the.
to have just
No,
super
I know.
chats.
I just want to make sure we got them all.
Oh,
And
okay.
Yeah. Just making sure. So we didn't miss any. Cody Matt, good evening to all the OSA people lurking in the house. Make sure to stay for every second and pay close attention. You might learn something.
Exactly. Great comment.
Wow, Mike, you look so good. Your color looks great. Christy, you're doing a fabulous job taking care of this very important man. Much love to you both. You do look
Thank
good,
you
Mike.
so much.
So nice.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just making sure there's any other questions in here. This is a nice one too. Jefferson Hawkins is an OG.
Absolutely.
And then the next one says, Joan, I'm buying Jeff's book tonight.
Excellent. You'll enjoy it thoroughly. Promise.
Yep. Okay. Title of your new book, How I Helped Bring Down COS. Okay, and now here we go. Bach Buddy question: with the amounts of lawsuits naming him and the rise of all the SPTV channels, do you think the mini maniac still gets black PR reports night on Wake Up or
Right on Wake Up?
Right on Wake Up, or too depressing for his ego?
Oh no, I'm sure he still gets them. He wants to know what all of this stuff is so that he can start yelling at people.
Oh my gosh. So nauseating. Ivy, I loved your book. Thank you for exposing this cult. Much love and healing to you and yours. Thank you, Ivy.
Thank you, Ivy.
And Alex Daniel, will the sequel be called 2 billion years or 1 billion years?
1 billion and 1 years.
I like that it's, what did we say? We said it's the 1 year anniversary of 1 billion years.
Exactly.
900 and however many more to go. All right, your turn to pick comments now, Mike.
Okay. Jenny Peruzzi, Christy, it is great how you support Mike in his quest to expose Scientology. It absolutely is. I couldn't do it without her.
Thank you.
Oh, wait. Where did that go now? Oh, dear. I did it the wrong way around.
Put another one up.
Yeah, I will. Okay. Gretchen Hutterly. Hey, Mike. Glad to see you back up and running. Cancer can go F itself. I left cards for the Aftermath Foundation inside your book at the library in the hope that those looking to escape will see. Great. Excellent. That's a good plan. Okay. Dora Explorer. My son used to love that show when he was like 3. How old was he? 3, maybe?
That was Shane. Yeah, Shane loved that show.
Oh, that was Shane, not Jack. Jack never liked it. Shane was the one.
So. Shane, yeah.
Okay,
Shane
I just remember Dora the Explorer and the
Shane.
fox.
Mm-hmm.
No swiping swiper.
Mm-hmm.
Dora Explorer. I'm late for most lives these days, but hi everyone. Hand pink waving. Hand pink waving. That's like a thing. Hand pink waving. Lady Veritas, question, Mike, is there anything you now wish you had included in your book? No. No.
You did a good job.
Thank you. Oh, this is a good one. Tyler Gobble, the F. Scott Fitzgerald quote at the start of the book has stuck with me, and I keep sharing it and your story of growth with those who need it. And I've got to tell you a little behind the scenes. That quote came from me being at the Headley's house and in the bathroom when it was in there. That quote is on the wall to read while you're sitting doing your business. And I read it. I went, oh my God, that quote is amazing. And so I included it at the beginning of my book. Purple Groovy 69, new book on it. Gary Jackson Moorhead, I hope you find true love again. Yep, me too. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Ronald Vallado, greetings from Rio. That's pretty cool. You don't get a lot of people from all over the world.
Let me put this. Oh, that's not the one. This one that I wanted to put up.
Oh, Liz. Hi, Liz. You're very welcome, and I'm glad that that is the case. I anytime anybody tells me that, I'm like, okay, that's why I do all this. So, thank you.
Yeah, so nice.
Are you still doing these or what? Now
Sure.
I've taken charge.
I'll go back if you want me to. Cheryl Neal, Mike, can I still send my receipt to you from the fundraiser to get a signed copy of your book? Pray for your continued healing. Thanks for all you do.
Yes, of course you can, Cheryl. Absolutely.
Colonel Brock, thank you for your super chat. John Breen, I'm researching how Scientology tied up with the EDUCO cult to take down an Irish cult education website in 2008, 2009. Are leaked OSA documents public?
No, generally those documents are not public, but they only go up until 2007. There is nothing beyond that. I left in 2007.
Okay. Alicia T, you're looking great, Mike. Much love to Nurse Christie for taking amazing care of the hubby.
Yes, that's true.
We're getting closer and closer to our 8:30 final book.
Yeah, I haven't been starring anymore. We've just got 6 more to go.
Okay. Christy, your story is compelling as well, and your autobiography is coming out when? From Test TGV Scribe. I don't know about that. We'll see.
Now I'm going to start nagging her.
Okay. Mama S, 602 likes, 1.3K watching. Hit that like button. Thank you.
Oh,
Mama
yeah.
S.
Good. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Do everything, whatever.
Do all the things. Tyler Gobble, the F. Scott
we had
Gerald.
that already.
Okay. Got it. Donna Little, I have the book. Would love it signed. You have any appearances coming up? I live in PH, believe it or not. Is that Palm Harbor?
I assume so. So, Donna, send me an email. I'm sure that we can organize this. Maybe you could drop by, or I could see you in Publix or something and sign your book for you.
Jessica Borg, maybe you should put aftermath cards in cigarette packs. I guess that's a joke because so many Scientologists smoke, or Sea Org members smoke.
Yeah, exactly. It's perfect. That is a perfect comment. I love that comment. That's why I put that one. That's the last one. So
okay.
We're going to do the book giveaway and then bow out for the evening.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight to celebrate Mike's 1-year book anniversary. We appreciate it. And put your comments in for the final book. I'm going to give it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holly Everett. I would love a signed book. You got one. Woohoo.
You just have to email me at my blog and tell me what your address is and what you want in the book.
And we'll get it to you.
We will get it to you.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us tonight.
Yes, thank you so much. And thank you for all the kind wishes as always, and all the support and all the meaningful things that you have to say and offer in support of not just me and Christy, but everybody who is engaged in exposing the abuses of Scientology. We love you all.
We love you.
We do. And you make the world go round. And one last thing I just wanted to say, thanks Goldie for being here moderating. I didn't make any mention of you, but I saw that you were there and I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Goldie.
And we will see you all again. I'm not sure when, but we'll announce it. We will keep doing these.
You'll
And
be back. You'll be back sooner than I will.
yeah, I will. I'm with Leah and I are recording another show tomorrow. Not sure when that will be. Maybe it'll come out on Monday or Tuesday or something. That one's going to be fun. So
Stay tuned.
We'll see you on what did they used to say, those CB trucker people? See you on the upside, good buddy or something.
I don't know.
Whatever. Anyway, you know what I mean. Okay. Bye.